Listen to
Listen
me.
to
Listen
me.
to me.
Listen to
Listen to me.
me.
Listen to
Pero
me.
listen to
Listen
me.
to
Listen to
me.
Listen to
me.
me.
Listen to
Listen
me.
to me. Todos los jueves de 4 a 5 de la tarde, hora del este, por Splash 102.1 FM y todas las plataformas digitales para el mundo entero.
Listen to me.
Listen to
Listen to
me.
me.
Listen to me.
Pero listen to
Listen
me.
to
Listen
me.
to me.
All right, praise be God. This is Listen to Me, the award winning show that is brought to you live here from Splash 102.1 FM every Thursdays from 4 to 5 in two languages, inglés y español, español, inglés y en spanglish de cuando en vez en cuando. Yes, let us do what we got to do for first. First of all, let me thank all of those that are inside of M&M Beauty Supply here in Ocala, Florida, in 2456 Southeast 58th Avenue in Ocala, Florida. Call them at 352-421-9312. Call them and tell them that Pastor JJ is sending you for the best manja, the best pizza, Arianna's Pizza. Also in 2496 Southeast 58th Avenue in Ocala, Florida. Call them at 352-421-9907. They got everything from lasagna, New York style pizza, gourmet silos, gyros, pastas, whatever you want. Best Italian food in Ocala is from Arianna's Pizza. The best pizza, burgers, french fries, pasta, gyros, Arianna's Pizzas, and M&M Beauty Supply. Two great businesses that help us be on the air. Bueno, mi gente, y para arrancar las cosas, primero que nada vamos a darle gloria a Dios a todas las bendiciones que nos ha dado, todo lo lindo que nos ha proporcionado hoy, porque nos ha dado un día muy bello. No es tanto calor, no hay tanto frío, no hay nieve en el piso. Y vamos para adelante con Ana Rosa y su segmento. ¿Y cuál es el problema? Ana Rosa, ¿cómo tú estás?
Bendecida, Pastor Jay, agradecida y en victoria. Un jueves más, gracias a Dios que estamos aquí llevándole a ustedes un poquito, miren, de todo, porque aquí en Listen to Me, usted no solamente va a escuchar al Pastor Jay Rodríguez hablarle en inglés, va a estar escuchando aquí esta servidora, trayéndole lo que está sucediendo, mire, en lo que nos interesa, en la comunidad, de diversos lugares. Y hoy te vengo a hablar, mira, de varias cositas, pero antes de que se me olvide, Jay, mañana hay una actividad bien importante.
Dímelo.
Tú vas a recibir un reconocimiento, yo quiero que el mundo entero lo sepa.
Ah, sí, el sábado a las 5:30 en Fort Harrison. El sábado, sí, The Truth About Drugs es una fundación que yo he estado trabajando por 2 años y tengo el honor de que tú, tu esposo y un grupo de más de 25 personas, mira, 25 personas desde Floral City, Orlando, Ocala, de todos lados van a ir a Clearwater, Florida, al Fort Harrison, al histórico Fort Harrison, y vamos a estar ahí a las 5:30 de la tarde en Clearwater para celebrar todos esos voluntarios que han hecho mella en el año, dando educación y cátedra sobre los maleficios que hace la droga, tanto callejera como las prescritas, ¿verdad?
Definitivamente, y qué bueno que lo dijiste tú, porque estamos trabajando haciendo lo que nos corresponde. Porque yo siempre digo, Jay, que si cada uno de nosotros hace su parte, mira, estuviéramos en un mundo más equilibrado. Y estamos hablando de que todo lo que tiene que ver con mejorar la comunidad, la sociedad, usted mire, póngase proactivo, mire a su alrededor, qué está pasando, qué usted puede hacer, cómo se puede colaborar. Y yo te tengo hoy que dar una información bien linda de una plática que sostuve en esta mañana con un doctor haitiano, directamente desde Haití. Este doctor tiene un nombre bien raro que yo no lo sé ni pronunciar, pero yo te voy a comentar un poco más sobre él. Fíjate cómo es la vida, Jay. Él tuvo la oportunidad de recibir una beca por deporte en República Dominicana. Se hizo médico y se devolvió para Haití a ejercer la profesión. Y dice que él no se va de Haití. ¿Por qué? Porque él quiere hacer algo por su país. Eso es digno de admirar. Sabemos lo que está sucediendo. Y el problema es que mucha gente no entiende que cuando vives en una isla con dos idiomas compartidos, pude hablar con él en español perfectamente y tenemos que aprender a hablar creol también. Así es que mira, yo voy a comenzar, como te dije la otra vez, practicando Merci Palais Nula. Esto quiere decir gracias por estar aquí. Así que Jay, tenemos que fomentar la inclusión, debemos de fomentar la hermandad, la empatía. Y qué bonito haber podido conversar en español con un doctor haitiano residente en Haití, que está haciendo lo que le corresponde, está haciendo su parte, ejerciendo la profesión, tratando de llevar deporte también a la comunidad. Es un médico joven de apenas 36 años y eso me impactó. Más adelante vas a conocer un poquito más de él, lo voy a invitar a que pueda participar directamente con nosotros. En ese horario él no podía, pero ya nos debe esta. Así es que, Jay, ¿cuál es el problema? ¿Tú sabes cuál es el problema que tú me preguntaste ahorita?
Sí, dime, ¿cuál es el problema?
En el condado de Pasco, que se están quejando de que el programa de ISOL como que no le está enseñando lo que necesitan los estudiantes. Entonces, ahí precisamente una madre boricua están tratando de llevar, ¿verdad?, llamar la atención a que le pongan más cuidado a los programas de ISOL, porque aparente y alegadamente los niños no están aprendiendo lo necesario para superar la barrera del idioma. Hablando del idioma.
Wow.
Así es que eso está sucediendo en el condado de Pasco. Oye, lo que sí está pasando con la gente que anda solitaria. Hay unos estudios por ahí, ¿a ti te gustan los estudios?
Sí.
Hay unos estudios donde estuve leyendo que la soledad, Jay, afecta más a la memoria.
Oh, sí.
Esto no lo digo yo, familia. Esto lo dice, en este caso, el estudio viene de Europa, por allá, ¿verdad? Que estos europeos siguieron ahí a 10.000 y pico de personas entre los 65 y los 94 años y concluyeron que la soledad se asocia con los peores resultados para la memoria. Así que mire, usted póngase para lo suyo, no se quede solo. Si usted está solo, busque compañía, porque eso lo va a ayudar a mantenerse siempre, mire, alerta. Que si le llega el momento, ¿verdad?, de la edad, usted mantenga la mente siempre ocupada y que esté ahí al 100%. Otra noticia que te tengo, Jay.
Dime.
Sabes que las sociedades viven cambiando continuamente.
Eso es verdad.
En el caso de Nueva York, fíjate lo que está pasando en Nueva York. Están impulsando unas licencias laborales pagas para el cuidado de mascotas. ¿Tú puedes creer eso?
Espérate, ¿cómo? Barajéame eso otra vez, ¿cómo fue?
Están impulsando en Nueva York licencias laborales pagas para el cuidado de mascotas. En otras palabras, mira, si tú vives en Nueva York, de hecho, eso está, tú sabes, en la palestra. Si tú vives en Nueva York y apruebas esta ley, ¿verdad?, estarías recibiendo un permiso remunerado para cuidar a tu mascota cuando se te enferme la mascota y tú tengas que cuidarla. Tú sabes que los animalitos son parte de la familia. Entonces pueden tomar hasta 2 semanas, ¿verdad? Si se da esto, 2 semanas pagas cuando usted adopta una mascota y necesita, pues, atender al animalito con alguna enfermedad. Y eso salió publicado en el New York Times. No se crea que yo me estoy inventando esto. Usted sabe que entre el 66 y el 71% de los hogares estadounidenses tenían al menos una mascota en el 20.
Ajá. Parece que se me fue. Espérate un momentito, que venimos ahora. Se me fue Ana Rosa. Vamos para allá ahora, un momentito. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having some technical difficulties, but anyway, I just want to take this opportunity really quick to say hello to all the clients that are inside of M&M Beauty Supply. Say hello, I am seeing you there. God bless you all, and thank you for being in M&M Beauty Supply here in Ocala, Florida. Let me get Ana Rosa back on the line and we'll be right back. Hold on. No, mira cómo son las cosas. Estábamos hablando sobre el señor que tú quieres traer para el programa. Ajá. Entonces, mira cómo son las cosas. Estamos hablando de unas cosas bien importantes y de pronto, ¡paquiti! Se fue la señal, pero de todo, la internet, todo se tumbó bien rápido. Pero ahora al menos la internet regresó, pues eso es bueno.
Bueno, estamos aquí, que es lo importante. ¿Qué fue lo último que tú escuchaste que yo dije cuando se terminó de cortar la llamada?
Lamentablemente se me fue a mí también. Vamos a darle.
Vamos ahí en la parte técnica. Se te excusa, lo comprendemos. Bueno, de todas formas, vamos a identificar que estamos en Listen to Me. Al que sintonizó tarde, este programa llega a ustedes gracias a Bilingual Networking y al pastor Jay Rodríguez. Estamos aquí todos los jueves de 4 a 5 de la tarde con un programa variado para que usted, mire, se disfrute el camino a su casa, o si está en su casita, o está donde esté, lloviando, corriendo, o donde esté, en su área laboral. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo y en directo con todo lo que ocurre en un programa en vivo, directamente desde la capital del caballo. ¿Y cuál es?
Ocala, Florida.
Ya lo saben. Estábamos hablando cuando se interrumpió la señal, la comunicación, de que Nueva York está impulsando desde el 2024, Jay, una licencia paga para los cuidadores de mascotas. Como parte de sus beneficios laborales, pues las empresas en Estados Unidos, en este caso en Nueva York, estarían implementando este permiso remunerado para el cuidado de mascotas. Esto tiene un nombre, yo no lo sé pronunciar bien, yo creo que es Paternity Leave. Se escribe P-A-W. ¿Cómo se pronuncia?
Paternity Leave.
Paternity Leave.
Yeah.
Pues así se llama
Paternity
este término.
leave,
Sería
yeah.
que este beneficio le permitiría a los empleados tomar hasta 2 semanas pagas cuando adoptan una mascota o necesitan atenderla en caso de verdad, de una enfermedad. Tú sabes que cuando pues vieron las estadísticas, de acuerdo al New York Times, entre el 66% y el 71% de los hogares estadounidenses tenía al menos una mascota a comienzos del 2026. Y esto refleja que representa del 87 al 94 millones de hogares. Y estamos hablando de que cuando tú pierdes una mascota, pues obviamente te viene la tristeza, la depresión y todo esto. Y ellos alegan con esta medida que el empleado puede reducir el estrés y fortalece la lealtad del equipo, y por eso están impulsando esto. Ya algunas compañías pues están dándole esta oportunidad, pero no es una cosa establecida así por ley. Algunas lo están implementando, pero se está tratando de luchar para que este proyecto neoyorquino, que es el número 108924, pues pueda ser ya más fortalecido para que tengan los empleados este beneficio de tomar estas vacaciones por 2 semanas pagas para atender a sus mascotas. ¿Te enteraste por aquí? En Listen to Me.
Listen to Me, el programa que está pegado más que el arroz y la habichuela.
Bueno, ya lo saben, el único programa donde usted va a escuchar hablar en inglés, en español y en creol.
Eso
Oye,
es
¿tú
así?
sabes, Jay, te enteraste que fue recientemente nombrado un cubano-americano de Miami? Fue elegido recientemente presidente de la Corte Suprema de Florida.
Eso es
Esto es un
bueno.
avance para nosotros, claro. Tú sabes que ese es el máximo cargo del Poder Judicial, y él es nativo de Miami, de padres cubanos. Se llama John D. Couriel, de 48 añitos. Así es que felicitaciones, porque es un logro más cuando los hispanos siguen brillando, ¿verdad? Pues eso nos alegra muchísimo. Bueno, lo que sí estamos contemplando es lo que está pasando con República Dominicana, con esto del caso de Set, que apenas cumplió un año ahora, el 8 de abril.
Ajá.
Y la comunidad se ha desbordado, han hecho marchas, han hecho de todo, buscando la manera de llamar la atención al gobierno para que se haga justicia, porque fue una negligencia que se pudo haber evitado, y lamentablemente los responsables pues están en su casa echándose fresco. Entonces ahí hay mucha desigualdad con la justicia. Ves cuando una persona se roba una gallina, la llevan presa, y en un caso como este del Jet Set, que para los que no lo saben, el año pasado, el 8 de abril, esta famosa discoteca Jet Set en la capital de Santo Domingo, el techo le colapsó. Y dicen que mal contados fallecieron 236 personas, sin contar la cantidad de niños que quedaron huérfanos, las personas que quedaron lesionadas, que ahí se sabe que ese número no es real. Entonces la justicia dominicana tiene muchas vulnerabilidades y el país está pues en esta crisis de que quieren que se haga justicia. Así es que volviendo a los temas positivos, tú sabes que ¿a ti te gustaría vivir en un lugar donde tú no tengas que comprar una casa muy, muy costosa? Y hay ciudades donde pues, las casas son más baratas y las rentas son más baratas. ¿Quieres que te diga dónde están las casas más baratas?
Dímelo.
Yo no conocí este lugar. Se llama Palatka. ¿Tú conoces ese sitio en Florida?
Palatka.
Palatka.
No.
Palatka. Dicen que las casas ahí se consiguen hasta $120,000 con rentas de hasta 650. Y yo, sí, están súper económicas. Ahora, siempre es importante saber y reconocer que, pues, ¿verdad? En los lugares donde tú llegas a vivir más barato, pues no necesariamente son los más seguros. Y otros lugares que están en la lista de las ciudades más baratas para vivir en Florida es Lake City.
All right.
¿Sabes cuál otra?
¿Cuál?
Ocala.
Yes, Ocala, la capital de los caballos.
Yes. Y la otra es Day City y Sebring. Así que ya tienen ahí 5 opciones. Si usted está buscando casa, comprar su residencia a precios más reducidos, ahí tienen Palatka, Day City, Ocala, Day City y Sebring. Bueno, Jay, tenemos otras informaciones por ahí, déjame ver. Ya te mencioné lo de la verdad, lo de la soledad, lo del jet set. Ajá, algo bien importante.
Dímelo.
Un versículo de la Biblia que me encantó.
Eso es bien importante, la verdad.
Y ya también el hombre, el hacha está puesta, debo decir, y ya también el hacha está puesta en la raíz de los árboles. Por tanto, todo árbol que no da buen fruto se corta y se echa en el fuego. Eso está en San Lucas 3:9. Quiere decir que mire a ver sus obras, porque si usted no está haciendo lo que tiene que hacer, aquí hay una mano poderosa invisible que puede decir hasta luego. Así es que el que tiene 2 túnicas, dé al que no tiene, y el que tiene que comer, que haga lo mismo. Esto está en San Lucas 3:11. Bendito sea Dios, que el que tiene pueda ser solidario y compartir su pan. Yo soy Ana Rosa, me encuentro directamente desde la hermosa ciudad de Floral City. Les envío un abrazo grande a la distancia, esperándolos el próximo jueves en Listen to Me para el mundo entero a través de las plataformas digitales y el canal de YouTube. ¿Dónde nos pueden escuchar cuando pase este programa, Jay?
youtube.com/bbninfo, o si no, en el sitial cibernético bbninfo.com para el mundo entero, y a través de los sitiales también de YouTube de la página de 102.1 FM's The Splash. Pueden vernos ahí, pueden vernos por TuneIn, nos pueden escuchar por TuneIn, nos pueden escuchar también por los sitiales de la internet. So, bbninfo.com.
Ahí está. Usted nos encuentra, por donde usted guste más, cualquiera de todas estas plataformas. Y si quiere conocer un poquito más de mí, búsqueme por ahí en Facebook como Ana Rosa Arias, o Esta Mujer Soy Yo en todas las plataformas de podcast. Me despido de ustedes deseándoles una bendecida tarde. Los sigo escuchando a través de la web. Y gracias a todos por su cariño, por seguirnos, porque sabemos que estamos en la mirilla, tú lo sabes, ¿verdad, Jay?
Sí.
Nos están observando de muchos lugares del mundo. Muchísimas gracias por compartir el programa. Cuando se encuentre con nosotros por ahí en las redes, compártalo para que más personas se enteren de que estamos llevando un mensaje de fe, de amor, de esperanza y manteniéndolos a todos aquí informados de lo que está pasando en las comunidades. Y si Dios toca su corazón y usted quiere enviar una ofrenda, un donativo, donde se pueden comunicar para los que se sientan motivados a apoyar estos esfuerzos independientes que necesitan de tanto apoyo para sobrevivir. Esto es una producción independiente y usted puede hacer su donación, su ofrenda a través del cel número
321-439-8218 y si quiere auspiciar a ¿Cuál es el problema de Ana Rosa? Ana Rosa, ¿cuál es el teléfono tuyo para que también te den tu donación y tus bendiciones también de Dios?
Amén y amén. Busca un lápiz, que si Jay dijo ese número muy rápido, busca el lápiz, le vamos a dar tiempo, tómese unos segunditos y repítele nuevamente, Jay, el número de tu cel para cualquier ofrenda, donación, aporte o empresa que desee anunciarse con nosotros.
321-439-8218.
Para apoyar a Listen to Me, una vez más.
321-439-8218.
Y si usted quiere apoyar a ¿Cuál es el problema? Se puede comunicar al 407-913-6933.
¿Cuál es el problema? Otra vez ese número.
407-913-6933. Que sea de gran bendición para todos ustedes estar en esta sintonía tan linda. Gracias a todos por su sintonía. Los dejo en buenas manos. Sigan ahí con el pastor Jay, que mañana no, el sábado, va a recibir un premio. Yo voy a estar allí, mira, en primera fila.
Mira, y tienen que estar pendientes al programa del jueves de la semana que viene porque vamos a estar hablando de lo que pasó el sábado, ¿verdad?
Ah, bueno, pues usted sabe que usted aquí se va a enterar de todo, se va a enterar con nosotros, definitivamente que sí. Así que pongan en oración a todos los niños de Haití, a todos los niños del mundo, los niños que están siendo muy vulnerados. Necesitamos orar para que Dios toque cada familia que pueda hacerse cargo de un niño que tenga necesidad, que lo haga, Jay. Así que un abrazo para todos y linda tarde, Dios me los bendice y hasta el próximo jueves.
Amén. Y esa era Ana Rosa en el segmento ¿Cuál es el problema? Rayo. Ok. To me. All right. Muy bueno. Sí, la tecnología muy buena. Yes. So that was Ana Rosa in her segment ¿Cuál es el problema? Which is the problem? And she does this segment every Thursday here in the Splash 102.1 FM. And I'm so grateful. I'm Pastor JJ Rodriguez, and we're in the award-winning show. It's spontaneous. It's unscripted. It's unrehearsed. It's Listen to Me. Let me get the next caller from Clearwater, Florida, and we'll be right back. In the meantime, listen to Pastor Norman Lee Schaefer's Rest a While with You.
Lord, you count my tears, take away all my fears. You help me through the pain. I get tired and weary, but I know you hear me when I call your name. I pray now, help me climb the mountain, 'cause Lord, I'm counting on you. Walk with me in the valley till I finally make it on through. Bring me out of the darkness
All right, folks, that was Pastor Norman Lee Schaefer in his award-winning shows, and also the lead pastor of the Garden Worship Center. Just want to remind you that Friday we got movie night, and we're showing the movie I Only Can Imagine. The door opens at 5:30. The movie starts at 6, so make sure you look up the Garden Worship Center. Come visit us at 5:30 and enjoy a great movie starting at 6 p.m. All right, this is the award-winning show where they're listening to us in Germany, they're listening to us in Clearwater, Florida, in Ocala, Florida, in all through the internet, in Orlando, in Kissimmee, all parts of the Florida, and all parts of the United States, and even in Stuttgart, Germany, and in England, and even in Australia. So make sure you listen to the award-winning show, Listen to Me, where we speak in English, Spanish, and any other language, and sometimes we even speak in Spanglish, so hey, that's good. Anyway, I have my guest, Senia, from Clearwater, Florida. How you doing, my dear sister? How's everything over there in Clearwater, Florida?
Hello, Pastor JJ. We're doing wonderful in Clearwater. We're very excited to be on the show again this week, and look forward to talking about amazing ways we can help people understand any subject and excel in any subject that they study or learn and become more able.
Fantastic, Senia. Tell me a little bit. I know that LRH, L. Ron Hubbard, created the study technology. Tell us a little bit about that study technology.
Absolutely. So the study technology was developed by L. Ron Hubbard, and it focuses on overcoming 3 key barriers to learning. He discovered that there are 3 key barriers when it comes to learning any subject. So misunderstood words, too steep a gradient, and absence of math. And maybe perhaps it's better to kind of talk about this study technology in a way that people can relate to. For instance, dyslexia, right? Overcoming a confusion that typically comes with dyslexia. About 10 to 20% of the population is diagnosed with dyslexia. And coincidentally, well-known actor Tom Cruise, who a lot of us know, he overcame dyslexia through using the study technology and specifically misunderstood words.
Yes, and also another famous actor, John Travolta. He didn't have dyslexia, but he had problems understanding words, and through this technology, he was able to comprehend better, learn his scripts much quicker. It helped him a lot.
Absolutely. So it is not just memorizing. It is actually comprehending exactly what the script is. So when it comes to acting, of course, understanding what the script says and memorizing it, but also understanding it. And when you understand, we have a conceptual understanding of what you're trying to communicate as an actor. And I'm not an actor myself. I'm not an actress. However, I did study acting in high school, and I did some shows and did a little traveling around. So I do understand a little bit of what goes into that. You have to convey emotion to the audience, and when you have, it's very important to have a conceptual understanding of what it is that particular scene is you're trying to communicate in that scene. So study technology came in very handy. Not that a lot of your listeners are actors or actresses, but really we communicate in everyday life. Right?
Yes.
We talk to people, we communicate through different channels, whether that's speaking, that's writing, and we interact with people. So it's very important that we understand all that communication and better understand the world around us, and be able to right, have just understand this communication. I think that's life, right? Just understanding what people tell you, and a lot of misunderstandings can get prevented by doing that. One thing that I wanted to share, Pastor JJ, is that when there is a word that a person does not understand, they might actually, there's physical reactions that may come from that. So, for example, they could feel blank, right? They don't know what was just said. They could feel tired. They could feel irritated. They could even get a headache. they could suddenly feel like they forgot what they read. I think all of us have run into a situation where we're reading text and all of a sudden like, what did I just read?
Yep, that is true.
Just before that feeling, there was a word or sometimes symbols, right, that we read or see or hear, and we don't understand it.
That is true, and again, that's where the problems come down, because you try to force yourself beyond that misunderstood word, that word that you haven't clarified, that you haven't gotten the definition, so you don't understand what's going on, and then you try to keep on reading, and then you lose interest. You don't want to read anymore. You don't want to study anymore. That is, L. Ron Hubbard is a genius in that, because he discovered the patterns, and this technology can help many people.
Absolutely, yeah. L. Ron Hubbard, we haven't necessarily mentioned that today, but he was a writer, he was a researcher, he was a humanitarian who devoted his work and his life's work really to understanding the mind, life, and what is really human potential. He himself has studied a wide range of topics and subjects, including engineering, mathematics, sciences. He's a great photographer, and because he was such an avid learner, he had a lot of interest in understanding how people learn and how do they apply what they learn. Now here's another really key topic, application of what it is that we're learning, right? And I'll give you just one quick example. My brother fixes cars. He's a mechanic. And he learned through practical application. And you take fixing cars as a great example. You can't just read a manual on how to let's say change oil and then become an oil changing expert right away. There's different steps to how do you actually go from reading something to actually applying it in life.
That is true. You're right, because you have to understand these concepts to be able to move forward.
Yes, absolutely. So there are 3 barriers to study.
What are they?
That this free course on volunteerministers.org goes into. And again, we're all about practical tools to help people with whatever topic or subject. There's 19 different topics on volunteerministers.org that people can learn on, and they can go to the volunteerministers.org website, do the free course. They can also come to our center if they're feeling adventurous and they want to come to downtown Clearwater, check out the beach, right, from Ocala. And by the way, quick little tidbit, I lived in Stuttgart for a few years, Stuttgart, Germany, so I know that town very well. So hello to anyone listening in Stuttgart.
Fantastic. Yes, I have family. I have family over there that works at the auto industry out there, and it's been growing. I got to tell you something. The internet is so fascinating. We started with 100 people. Now it's ballooning up to 1,500 people.
Love it. Absolutely amazing. Yes, the Mercedes factory is in Stuttgart, Germany.
Yes, exactly. That's
the precision, the German precision, right?
Yep.
So, in fact, I have a lot of family in that area as well. My stepfather and my uncle both worked at the Mercedes factory. They're retired since, but both of them worked at the factory.
Fantastic.
So very familiar with that area. So for anyone who is interested in the study technology, improving their learning, I tell you, having raised 3 children, still raising them, no matter their age, right? I'm always going to be their mom, and I'm always going to want to help them do better in life. So study technology is absolutely invaluable as a parent. Absolutely invaluable. My husband and I, we run a couple of different companies. We have around 20 employees. Absolutely invaluable in helping our employees. I talk about application, right? So let's take a work application, reading a manual on how to do a job to then doing it, right? So because of the study technology, we're able to help our employees do better and actually perform better at work. And when you do better at work, you can make more money, and you can produce better, get better results with everything that you do, right? So I really encourage people to check out, at the very least, the free course, and come down to Clearwater. Come and see us. Come to the Volunteer Minister Center downtown. We're happy to show you around. We're happy to help you with whether it's study technology or other things that you need help with.
Yeah, and let's say hello to Petra, that she's in Clearwater, and she's doing an amazing job as the Executive Director of the Volunteer Ministers there in Florida. Also to Janie Rodriguez, she's the President of the Volunteer Ministers, and I am the Vice President, so I am also honored of being in a very important position, because I do believe that these 19 courses are very core to be able to help people in any situations. And also, even when there's this, thank the good Lord that there's no disasters, but even if disaster strikes, the volunteer ministers are always there. You know, they've been there in Japan, they've been there in South Africa, they've been there in where there's always been a disasters. When hurricanes and tornadoes hit in the United States and hurricanes hit here in Florida, they were present, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're there for whatever. Of course, when it is a disaster, and we're very well familiar with disasters down here in Florida. More recently, 24, when we got hit with 2 back-to-back hurricanes down here in Pinellas County, Clearwater area. I had lots of friends that had their homes flooded, unfortunately. One of my friends' homes flooded 3 times in 1 year period, which was absolutely devastating, and volunteer ministers were there to help out. One of my friends, who is a volunteer minister, she is absolutely amazing with cutting trees down and using chainsaw, and she's tiny, she's about 100 pounds, but she is absolutely amazing. She's there to help in those disasters. She loves doing that. In fact, in my home, we had a couple of trees come down, and it was very difficult to find anyone as far as tree companies. When there is a disaster, I think anybody who has lived through that, good luck finding a company that can come a day after disaster or 2 days after disaster to help you remove the debris and kind of start cleaning out your area. So I called volunteer ministers, and they showed up, and they helped clean up the trees and pick up the debris. It was literally a day after the storm. So absolutely amazing. We're volunteer ministers, and that's the purpose. It's volunteer ministers are there to help people in need. We are talking about 19 topics, which is everyday life problems. But when there is a disaster, that is a real problem, and it's an immediate problem. Volunteer ministers are there for those disasters as well.
Tell me something. Let's go back to the 19 courses. When you've seen people take these courses, do you see, to those that don't understand, L. Ron Hubbard put a gradient, which is called the tone scale, and it gives a scale on how emotions go from the enthusiastic to apathy. So when you see these people take these courses, isn't it amazing to you, in your personal experience as a professional, as a mom, when you see these people, their tone scale rises, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, just think about it. You have a problem, and we talked on your show a lot about this, whether it's in marriage or with children, or we're talking about learning anything and becoming more able at your job and doing better. When we get a solution to something, we go from being apathetic, oh my God, this is horrible, I have this problem, to, wait a minute, maybe there's a way I can solve this. And here's a tool that you can utilize to solve it. Just like anything, water pipe is broken, problem, somebody fixes it, oh great, it's fixed, right? Life's problems are many. So these 19 courses give you practical tools. That is my absolute favorite thing about these courses, is that you actually can take this tool and do what it says, right? It's like applying 1, 2, 3, right? Here's the steps on how to do it. person, and it works, right? So yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you a quick example that I just experienced in the last couple of days. My youngest son, he's 10, gave him, if he's unhappy, there's a little course on one of the 19 topics on the tone scale. The tone scale is simply how do people feel. Sometimes they're in apathy, sometimes they're enthusiastic, like you said, sometimes they're angry, and we all go through emotions. Grief, right, crying, not feeling good. There's a wide range of emotional tones that people feel on a day-to-day basis. We go up and down that tone scale. Wouldn't you like to know how do you help yourself when you're not quite in a tone? Let's say that you're apathetic and apathy, for whatever reason, maybe you got some bad news or something happened. Wouldn't you like to know how you can move up the tone scale, maybe into interest, or like you said, enthusiasm, or maybe enthusiasm is not quite where you want to be. Maybe you just want to be a little more interested about, a little more content than apathy, right? So in that course, it actually gives you steps on what you can do to feel happier. So my 10-year-old was going through this course, and I saw him start applying it and using it, and it was just beautiful to see because he is, at an age, I feel like with children, once they hit that about 10 years old, they start going into that preteen stage, and they start kind of thinking a little more grown up, right? They started making certain observations about the world, and they get into different emotions and experiences that they have in school with their peers and friends and so on. And I just saw him be able to handle some of those situations in a much better way. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and it is good because not only to help people that have gone through negative situations, disasters, breakups, loss of jobs, and stuff like that. But the thing of it is that you could apply what you learn in that course of the out of the 19 of the volunteer ministers courses, online courses. And again, I can't stress this enough. It is free. There is no attachments. There's nothing. You just fill out a simple form. You register, and then you're in. And you could, and I have had the honor of earning all 19 of the certificates. You become a certified volunteer minister. Once there's a disaster, we either meet up in Clearwater or we meet up at basic strategic places throughout Florida, and we deliver these important help. If we have to clear out water, if we have to clear out debris, if we have to do what we got to do, bringing water, bringing what we got to do, doing assists for these people. But it's such an awesome moment. So I just want to reiterate, here in Ocala, if you're listening to me through Splash 102.1 FM, I am very grateful. If you're listening to me through the internet, I'm also grateful too. But call me at 321-439-8218 if you want to become part of the volunteer ministers or the I Help group that I'm forming, and then I will give you more information on that. But Senia, can you understand that I just don't understand why people do not want to take these courses to get better, and we'll have to take another deeper dive into L. Ron Hubbard's philosophies about this, because he's also said that we could predict people's emotions and how they react to things. But it is funny why people this day and age would gravitate towards negativity instead of trying to feel better. Give me your opinion on that.
Well, I happen to have the good fortune of also being in marketing and sales. That's my career at a professional level. And, people move into action because they're trying, most of the people, statistic on that I saw, 87% of people move into action because they're trying to avoid pain, right? And about 13% is because they're seeking pleasure. So when it comes to kind of learning and getting better and taking things to the next level, I feel sometimes, when there is a disaster, not sometimes, but when there is a disaster, the problem is right in front of us, right? We're full of faith with it. It's like, okay, the tree is in front of my driveway, and it hits my wall in the house, and I have to move it, right? Otherwise, when the rain falls, the water is going to come in the house, and causing further damage, right? So, but when it comes to some of these life problems, from handling stress to communicating better and assisting others in difficult situations, tone scale is one of those things where, through whatever happens to us in life, we, like I said earlier, move up and down that tone. If we're in apathy, we can get ourselves in a better situation. When we're in apathy, we don't want to do anything about it. So, and maybe we're in apathy because we got bad news, or maybe because at work something happened, or maybe because we had a fight with our spouse, right? Well, there is a way to, things that we can do to help, again, maybe into be more content about life. And then when you're more content about it, when you're higher in the tone, then you can maybe address some of these life problems and be more willing to use them. But I think negativity is one of those things that it's all around us. Honestly, frankly, I don't watch news anymore, just because, it's important to also hang around people that are not negative, right? And so it's important to understand the tone scale, where people are, where we ourselves are on the tone scale, get the tools to get ourselves up tone. If we have people around us that are not in the right kind of tone, when somebody is in apathy, or, one tone that is particularly not fun, is covert hostility.
Exactly.
Somebody pretending to be a friend, but they're not really a friend, right? That one is kind of dangerous. We all have had those two-faced people around us. I can tell you I had my share of experiences with them, and those can be pretty, they make us feel like they're our best friends, and they stab us in the back at the first opportunity.
Yes, that has happened in my secular life when I was a performer and I did radio shows and TV shows in Puerto Rico and in Illinois and in Chicago. Yeah, backstabbing was a sport. It was a blood sport. But this is something that has helped me because again, as a pastor, you what you want to do for your congregation and your congregates is to be able to alleviate pain, because when they come to you, they have a pain. They're down on the tone scale. They're around apathy. They may be even bordering between death and apathy, and whatever I could do to make them go up the tone scale and feel better. And when they walk away from me, they're feeling, they're smiling, they're yawning, they have these different emotions that is not apathy. That's where I feel, well, yes, this system works. This technology works. L. Ron Hubbard is a freaking genius. Even though he did so much things for humanity, and I'm very grateful that he did, because he was one of the great thinkers that came out of the 1950s, between the 40s and the 50s. There were great people that wrote many great things, and L. Ron Hubbard was one of them. Even though he was a prolific writer, he was a humanitarian, he was a musician, a horticulturist. He dealt with vegetables, musicians. He was a consummate photographer. He kept on studying. And he kept on researching till his death in the mid 80s.
Yeah, absolutely. And the most research that he has spent on was how do you alleviate human pain and human suffering. And he has come up with, when you talk about some of these topics like photography, how to be a great photographer, or how to grow plants, right? It's very much practical tools. You have to figure out what works and then apply it to get a good product at the end, just like fixing cars. You either know how to fix a car or you don't know how to fix a car, right? Mm-hmm. Diagnose it and fix it. And so when it comes to human pain and suffering, what are practical tools that can alleviate that? And frankly, there's nothing else out there. Study technology is one example. It's, what are you told there? And I know just this from, having gone to college myself and having children that are in college, they're told in college, university by professors, if you see a word you don't understand, just figure out, just imagine what it could be. Like, imagine it. Don't look it up in a dictionary. Just try and figure out the context of it.
Yep.
That's what they're told. That's the advice, right?
Yep.
And then what happens is they give up college, right? They don't want to study it anymore. This is for me, right? So it is for anyone that, this is not just, wishy-washy advice. These are actual tools, right? So I encourage people with whatever problem you have, we're talking about different ideas here. Maybe you have people around you who are negative. Well, do that tone scale course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you yourself are not quite feeling like in the spot that, you're maybe apathetic for whatever reason. Do that tone scale course, right? Maybe you'd like to learn a subject or do better. Maybe you want to help your children. Do that study technology course, right? Maybe there's conflict in your life. Well, guess what? There's a course on conflict. There's a course on communication. So 19 different topics. How do you overcome some of these common life practical skills to handle the challenges of living and to uplift yourself and others?
And that is so important because, again, living life sad and depressed is no way to live. I feel that once that you open your eyes to this type of philosophy and technology, you will understand what matters. You'll understand the energy. You'll understand the space, and you'll understand the time. And about that, we will talk some more in our next weeks. But this Saturday, there's some things going on in Clearwater, right, at the Volunteer Ministers Center. What's going on Saturday?
Absolutely. Volunteer Ministers Saturday, we have an assist course. So assist is a way to help somebody with pain. We're going to be teaching Nerve Assist, which helps people that essentially have some back pain or they need some help healing. It aligns the nerve channels in the body. Wonderful technique. It's not a massage. There's nothing else like it. Come on over at 3 o'clock. People are going to be delivering assist, teaching you how to do it. So if you yourself have issues or know anybody, you're going to learn how to do that nerve assist. That's one of the techniques to help somebody after they've gotten proper medical help, if they're going through healing. My husband recently was in a car accident, helping him with that. Speeds up the healing and helps his recovery. So 3 o'clock in downtown Clearwater on Fort Harrison Avenue, Scientology Volunteer Minister Center. Come on over, and we're going to teach you how to do assist.
Fantastic. And for those that if you have a pencil and paper close by, the address is 101 North Fort Harrison Avenue in Clearwater, Florida. And the phone number, please call my dear sister Petra. Call her and tell her that Pastor JJ and Senia sent you, and call her and at the phone number 727-467-6965, 727-467-6965, and tell Petra that you heard Listen to Me with Pastor JJ and Senia, and enroll in those 19 courses, because it will be the best thing that you've ever done. And you have to spend, how much you have to spend? 0 cents, because it's all online. But if you want to do learn a little bit more and get a hands-on, touchy-feely type of process, come. And I know that the gas prices are a little bit high, but hey, that's a low price to pay for a wealth of information. Right, Senia?
Absolutely. And one other thing, Pastor JJ, congratulations on your award.
Yay!
To seeing you this weekend.
Yes, and we have to talk about that next Thursday, because I am bringing my cameras. We're gonna be filming a Listen to Me after hours, because we're gonna be filming experiences of what happens at the Truth About Drugs banquets and awards, the Hero Awards and banquets. So we're gonna dance the night away. We're gonna have great food, have great spirits. We're gonna be enjoying with friends, family, and my brothers and sisters, because Senia, I consider you my sister. Petra is my sister, so we're going to be with brothers and sisters, having fun, and also glorifying God, because without God, nothing is possible. But with this technology, even more things are possible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Senia. I'm very grateful for your time. But you know what? It is already 5 o'clock. Oh my! It is time for us to go. Well, Senia, thank you so much, and I will see you Saturday. And it will be an honor to spend some time and break bread with you.
Absolutely. Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for having me. Blessings to all.
All right. Great. That was Senia from Clearwater and the volunteer ministers in Clearwater, Florida. Just want to remind you before I leave that this Friday at 5:30 at the Garden Worship Center in Bellevue. Look up the Garden Worship Center in Bellevue, Florida. We are going to have our movie night. The movie is I Only Can Imagine. Next month is I Only Can Imagine 2. And we have a series of blockbuster movies at our movie night. The doors open at 5:30. The movie starts promptly at 6. We have nice ice creams, the breakfast of champions, and the lunch of champions. So get some with the Holy Cow fare. We have some other stuffs too. The movie's totally free, so come and join us at the Garden Worship Center. Now I leave you with my brother, Pastor Norman Lee Schaefer, and thank you for saving me. We will see you next week, next Thursday, here at the Splash 102.1 FM. May you be blessed by the dear Lord. Everything is possible through our Lord and Jesus Christ, and glory be to God. And dear Lord, thank you for saving